A year of student achievement. The Education Minister declared early in 2014 that government would be focusing its programs on helping students to maximize their potential. And that's exactly what the ministry did. We'll tell you more later. Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Arroyo Eubanks. In the half hour, we'll meet a young student who's making strides, mastering literacy and proving that early intervention works. Plus, a flashback to the 1907 earthquake as we observe Earthquake Awareness Month. Stay with us. All this comes up after this timely message and the news.
Nicky baby, come here. You understand, so I have to send you guy your auntie so you can go to school and turn out better than me.
If you or anyone you know has been a victim of human trafficking, call 811 or 1-888-PROTECT. Be wise. Open your eyes. Spot them. Stop them. A message brought to you by the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, January 13. Just over 3,230 persons have found jobs under Phase 3 of the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program JEEP. So far, over $600 million has been spent to implement projects under Phase 3 of JEEP, which is in its final stage of completion. Senior Communications Officer at the National Works Agency, Colin Morrison, told the JIS News that this stage involved the patching of roads, cleaning of drains and construction of sidewalks.
Over 200 projects were implemented during Phase 3 of this program. Phase 3 commenced in March 2014 and is close to completion. The majority of these projects are over 96% complete. Each constituency was allocated $10 million to be used mainly for road infrastructure improvement works.
JEEP is one of government's strategies to counter unemployment among some Jamaicans, particularly those in the lower socio-economic groups. The fourth phase began in October 2014. Jamaica is expected to further improve its international business ranking as a result of ongoing initiatives by government to improve the investment climate. Over the next 12 to 24 months, a number of initiatives will be undertaken, including the establishment of an online platform for the registration of companies and a 90-day approval process for development applications.
Establishment of the port community system, the customs management system Asikuda World, the trade facilitation single window and e-trade, which is a government online trade facilitation system.
Minister Hilton added that the National Competitiveness Council would continue to coordinate the business reform agenda to boost Jamaica's competitiveness. Last year, Jamaica moved up 8 places on the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Report, ranking 86 out of 144 countries. The minister was speaking recently at the launch of the Mona School of Business and Management's inaugural conference in Montego Bay. He used the forum to push for a closer working relationship between government and academia. Human rights advocate Arlene Harrison Henry has been appointed as the new public defender and will begin duties on Monday, January 19. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen made the announcement on Monday in accordance with the Public Defender Interim Act of 2000. A release from King's House said Mrs. Harrison Henry, who served as president of the Jamaican Bar Association, was called to the bar in 1978 and was employed in the public service until 1983. She has served as Assistant Crown Counsel in the Attorney General's chambers and later established her private practice where she gained the reputation of a human rights activist. Mrs. Harrison Henry was also elected president of the Independent Jamaican Council for Human Rights in April 2006. She will be sworn into office at a ceremony at King's House on Friday, January 16. The Governor General has expressed appreciation to former Public Defender Earl Witter, who retired in April, and Matunda Makula, who has since been acting in the position. 20 early childhood institutions in Clarendon are now benefiting from the distribution of 100 tablet computers. The donation, which supports the government's Tablets in Schools project, was made by the Digital Foundation under its Project 1000 initiative. The aim is to increase the use of information and communication technology in the teaching and learning process.
I'm happy to say that we're about halfway to our target of 1,000 schools. And what I can promise is that we look forward to working with the ECC to meeting that target, to see how we can offer these tablets to more early childhood institutions.
And finally, government is receiving high praises for its work in preserving and encouraging religious freedom in Jamaica. A senior official of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Nigel Cook, says it makes Jamaica one of the most tolerant societies in the world where religion is concerned. He was speaking recently at the official launch of the Festival of Religious Freedom. The festival, which is the first such event to be held in Jamaica, is being spearheaded by the SDA Church in collaboration with the International Religious Liberty Association, the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches, and other religious groups. It will take place at the National Arena on Saturday, January 24 from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m.
To raise the awareness of the need to be vigilant in guarding our current freedom of religion and worship, as freedom of religion or belief is also intimately intertwined with other freedoms, including freedom of expression, association, and assembly.
The festival is being held under the theme, Or Right or Freedom, Let's Celebrate. And that's it for JIS News today. Amanda Chisholm, thank you for watching.
A healthy and educated people living in a clean, natural environment, reducing crime, improving the justice system and governance, building a prosperous economy. It's not just a vision, it's reality. Learn about the plan. Join the vision.
My country, Jamaica, has a rich heritage and is very unique. If we all pull together, we can make it the place of choice to live, work, raise family, and to do business.
For more information on Vision 2030, call the Planning Institute of Jamaica or visit vision2030.gov.jm, your parish library, school library, or the Jamaica Information Service.
A new textbook policy took the pressure off parents last summer. Book lists were cut after the ministry laid down the law for school administrators. It was just one of the many tangible results of focused, student-centered policies within the Ministry of Education in 2014. A full review is coming up next.
Student achievement. That was the focus of the Ministry of Education in 2014. During the year, the ministry did much to meet that target and achieve government's strategic priority for human capital development.
No book lists are to be issued by schools unless approved by the Ministry of Education.
The introduction of that new textbook policy in May set the stage for schools and parents to clamp down on the exorbitant costs of book lists. Other cost-saving measures included extending the life cycle of textbooks delivered to primary and secondary school students. This allowed the ministry to save $88 million on its textbook expenditure for the academic year starting September 2014. In 2014, the ministry initiated or continued several strategies to improve students' performance and advancement. At the early childhood level, a pilot program was started to identify children's readiness to enter primary school or the need for additional support to help them move forward. And at the primary level, the Education Ministry trained and deployed 66 literacy specialists to various schools, supported by $1.4 million in funding from the United States Agency for International Development. 76 math specialists were deployed to 200 primary and secondary schools under the 4-year mathematics intensification program.
We've had to find over $150 million extra this year to get that program underway, which will eventually cost over 3 years more than $1.2 billion.
The Education Minister also announced that, come 2017, a new national primary curriculum would be put in place. Among other things, it will mean the removal of GSAT as the exit exam for primary school students. In 2014, the Education Ministry continued its mission to expand Jamaica's school infrastructure. At the early childhood level, the Marley Hill and Riches Basic Schools were officially opened, while the Appleton and Torrington early childhood institutions were expanded. At the primary level, Red Hills Primary School was expanded. At the secondary level, Cedar Grove Academy, which had been in operation since 2013, was officially opened. And 8 high schools, Jonathan Grant, Central, Holy Trinity, Bridgeport, Edith Dalton James, Ferncourt, Hampton, and Monroe were expanded, while the formerly private Belleair High School was reopened as a government grant-aided public school. At the tertiary level, several Heart Trust and TVET centers were expanded or officially opened. And through an ongoing partnership with Food for the Poor, 50 more school pit latrines were replaced with flush toilets. Last year, the Education Ministry also entered into partnerships with key stakeholders to boost performance in the sector. A partnership with the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining facilitated the distribution of 16,000 computer tablets to students and teachers in 26 schools as part of the $1.4 billion Tablets in Schools pilot project. Through another partnership with that ministry, assistive aid devices were provided to 7 special needs institutions for students with disabilities. The Jamaica Library Service launched an initiative to provide Jamaicans with increased access to information and communications technology resources in 127 public libraries. Late in the year, the ministry received a trafficking in persons curriculum developed by the Justice Ministry to be taught to students in grades 7 to 9. The Ministry of Finance, through the Heart Trust NTA, gave the Students' Loan Bureau $250 million to help provide loans to tertiary students in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And in response to the chikungunya outbreak, the Education and Health Ministries partnered on a national schools cleanup campaign to eradicate mosquito breeding sites. The Education Ministry also undertook programs outside the classroom in 2014 to secure the well-being and safety of students. Starting with the 2014-2015 academic year, the ministry began providing free breakfast and lunch to students at the early childhood level.
We have allocated $1.05 billion out of our allocation to this budget. And we will use a combination of Nutrition Products Limited produced meals as well as foods provided at the local school level where that is appropriate and possible.
To secure the safety of school populations, a special behavior management and modification program was introduced to some institutions. The school-wide Positive Behavior Intervention and Support Program was in response to a JCF study which specified 56 schools that had the highest percentage of incarcerated past students.
I'm pleased to say that a coordinating committee has been identified, which will include representatives of the Association of Guidance Counselors, Deans of Discipline, and School Safety, and will also have a wide ministerial, interministerial complement. An eminent psychiatrist has been asked to chair it.
And in September, the ministry began implementation of the security and safety policy guidelines from the National Safe School Policy in 595 primary schools. The Education Ministry also took steps last year to address the welfare of teachers. Subsidy support to early childhood practitioners, most of whom are privately employed, was increased by 15%. A teacher's job match web portal was established to link teachers seeking jobs with potential employers locally and overseas. And 59 teachers were recruited for employment in China. It was another busy year in 2014 for the Ministry of Education. The goal was achieving government's strategic priority of human capital development.
We are trying to do more with what we have to advance student achievement.
There'll be a better tomorrow. 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 There'll be a day. There'll be a way. There'll come a time to sing a brand new song. There'll be a better tomorrow.
A non-reader blossoming into a spelling bee champion. A wonderful turn of events for a young student whose life has been enriched through a program coordinated by both the Ministry of Education and the Digicel Foundation.
Hi, I am Maria Willis. I am 8 years old and I attend Waterford Primary School and I am a child star.
Reading maketh a full man, or in Maria's case, a transformed girl. Very shy by nature, Maria is now blossoming into a little girl at her school, Waterford Primary, excelling in reading, spelling, and more.
Sandy ran away from home. Now he is lost. How will he get home? Sandy meets Paul. Paul is a friendly boy. Will he help Sandy?
2 years ago, Maria couldn't even read. But through careful guidance and care, she is now ahead of her peers. So what led to Maria's transformation? Well, it's all largely in part to the enrichment program.
This program is a program which was sponsored by Digicel Foundation and the Ministry of Education. It's an enrichment program for children, especially those who are slow in literacy. Although the room really should cater to children who are progressing too, special students, as well as those who are mastering in the area. But because of the grave situation at the school, we focus mainly on those who are very weak in literacy.
I could not identify the words, and when I could not spell and read.
And Maria came to the room for 2 years, grade 1 and 2. When she actually did the tests for the room, Maria could not identify most of the letters and even to repeat their sounds. So I had to start from beginning with her. She couldn't even write her name well. But as the term progresses and the years progress, she improved greatly.
And it is that individualized instruction with Miss Myers which made the difference in Maria's journey. Help also included the use of technology, a critical part of the enrichment program, which includes games to make the learning process interactive and fun.
I used to play games, the alphabetical beanbag, chill and play on the computer and play games and play hopscotch.
You're gonna construct the sentence now. Look at the words, say the words. What word is that?
Fly.
Fly loudly. Food.
Not. Spaceship. My.
Good. So now you have to write a sentence using these words. Which of these words would you start with first? My. Well, click on it. Good.
Spaceship.
Yes.
My spaceship could not fly. Yes, that's the message I want to send.
And even as she gets the assistance, Maria recognizes the role she has to play in her development.
I'll go home and read and study my words.
Through Through the power of words, Maria is changing the course of her future, excelling in both reading and spelling competitions at Waterford, even copying the champion spelling bee title in the school's competition.
This is for reading in my class, and this is for spelling bee. I feel happy because I couldn't read and I couldn't spell. Now I became a spelling bee champion.
And it's not only in spelling that she's been excelling. Maria's proving to be an all-round bright spark.
Is she correct? Yes. Give her a clap.
Maria also has the passion for another era, and for a school that has produced Olympic greats like Warren Ware, one can certainly understand why.
I like track and field because track and field, the coach make you run faster, and I like to be like Shelley Fraser.
And like Shelley, she's already getting media buzz, having been featured in national newspapers for her tremendous progress.
When I saw myself, I felt so happy because it's the first time going in a newspaper.
Perhaps it's because it was through a teacher that Maria's life has forever changed, that she now has a strong conviction on the path ahead for her.
In the future, I want to become a teacher. I want to tell all the children that you must pay attention in class and that reading is fun. Spelling bee. I got stung by a bee. I won't tell you where. I got stung by a bee. I was just lying there. And it tattooed a message. I can't tell you where. That spells out, welcome, you have been stung by a bee.
Shine bright, don't be shy, be a star. Where you live, where you are, shout it out, be a star. Shine bright.
Boosting production through improved infrastructure, achieving growth in consecutive quarters, effecting measures to ensure food safety while protecting the livelihood of farmers. On Wednesday, January 14, get the details right here on Jamaica Magazine. It's the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries 2014 Year in Review.
Community strengthening and awareness, the recipe for building earthquake resilience. That's the theme for Earthquake Awareness Month, launched last Tuesday. So how aware are you? Do you know what to do during an earthquake?
During an earthquake, the best thing to do is either to find yourself under a table or a desk, or to stand in a doorpost, or if you're inside a building, to get outside into the open.
Well, I would go underneath the door barrier, or door jamb, or under the desk.
I know the right thing to do, which is probably to get under a table or the door.
I heard that if you're inside, you're supposed to go under the door. Under the door for it's safer under the door and under the table.
Well, it does seem like people have some idea of what to do in an earthquake, and rightly so. After all, it's a natural disaster that has affected our island many times. In fact, the date Monday, January 14, 1907 is etched in our history as a day the island shook.
Air distilled. Suspended animation. Moment transfixed. 3:30 p.m. Monday, January 14, 1907, etched invariably in history as the instant that Kingston was changed forever.
At 3 o'clock, God is going to speak. And then, of course, at 3:30, about 3:30, the earthquake struck. I saw this building before. Now this is what it looks like. This is what the quake did.
Kingston destroyed by earthquake. Let them know what had happened to their city, what had happened to the capital of Jamaica.
Just 3 days after the great earthquake of 1907 struck downtown Kingston, several news headlines painting desolate pictures of the city were being circulated in the international press.
Horror and gloom increase. Entire streets leveled and crowds of frightened, shrieking people.
The shock lasted nearly 36 seconds. Pillars of smoke rose in Harbour Street, and soon afterwards, flames shot into the sky.
Semi-darkness. 600 bodies recovered, only a few buildings left standing and not one safe.
Our land has been suffering from immorality. The crime, the drugs, the bloodshed have only brought more sorrow.
We must change and give our children a brighter tomorrow. Let's renew our pledge to God as we work to heal our land and fellow man.
Let's join hands across Jamaica
For righteousness.
Let's join hands.
Let's join hands across Jamaica
For righteousness.
Pray, eternal Father.
Bless this Jamaica land. Let's join hands and hearts together and make Jamaica a land of love.
Brothers and sisters, let us join hands together to make our country a great place.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I trust you learned something vital. If you want to share your feedback with us, then please go ahead and email jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. You may also catch up with us on our various social media platforms, such as on Facebook and Twitter, as well as watch previous shows on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the JIS production team, I'm Arroya Eubanks. See you next time.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.